All right, so today we're diving into some pretty interesting waters.
Yeah,
We got a request from a listener, and this one hits close to home for a lot of folks, I think.
for sure.
It's about masculinity in relationships.
Yeah, big topic.
And this listener wants to know, like, how can I help my partner be more masculine?
Hmm.
And that's a loaded question right there. I mean, where do we even begin with that?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do is really unpack this idea of masculinity. What does that even mean?
Yeah, because it's not like there's a one-size-fits-all definition.
Exactly. It's such a complex thing shaped by so many different factors. Like think about culture, upbringing, personal experiences.
Even like media influences, what we
Yeah.
see on TV and in
Oh,
movies.
absolutely. All of that feeds into how we understand masculinity.
And then you throw in the dynamics of a specific relationship.
Yeah, like what one person considers masculine might be totally different for someone else.
Totally. So before we even get to like the how to help part, we need to understand what this listener is even looking for.
Right. What does more masculine actually look like in this particular relationship?
What are the expectations there? Because it's like saying, add more spice without saying what kind of spice you want.
Exactly. It could be totally different flavors.
And that brings up another point, right? It's not just about the partner.
Oh, absolutely not.
The listener's own ideas about masculinity play a huge role here too.
Huge. Like what they personally find attractive, what they associate with masculinity, all that comes into play.
It's this tension between accepting your partner for who they are, but also wanting them to be a certain way.
Right. It's a delicate balance for sure.
And I think masculinity is one of those areas where societal pressure just amplifies that whole thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Think about all the messages guys get from day one about what it means to be a man.
Be strong, be stoic, be the provider, all that stuff.
Right. And it can be so limiting. Like it puts people in this box and tells them they can't step outside of it.
And then that pressure spills over into relationships.
Totally. Like maybe the partner is already expressing their masculinity, just not in the way the listener expects or recognizes.
Right. Because it doesn't fit the traditional mold.
Exactly. So maybe it's not about changing the partner, but about broadening our understanding of what masculinity can look like.
Like expanding the definition, recognizing the different ways it can show up.
Absolutely. And that's where, communication is key.
Oh, always.
Instead of trying to force the partner into this predefined box,
Yeah.
try to understand their perspective. Like, what does masculinity mean to them?
How do they feel about those societal expectations?
Exactly. And what are their strengths, their values? How do those things tie into their sense of self?
Those are such important questions to consider.
Yeah, it's about having that honest dialogue, recognizing that there's no right or wrong answer here.
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Not at all. And, relationships are a two-way street.
Always.
So while we're talking about masculinity, it's important to remember that the listener's expectations are impacting things too.
Oh, absolutely. Like their own ideas about gender roles and what a relationship should look like.
Exactly. It's about both partners being aware of those influences and how they might be shaping their interactions.
So it's not just about one person changing. It's about growing together as a couple.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about understanding and appreciating each other's perspectives and finding a way to build a relationship that works for both of
It
you.
honors both of your individualities.
Yes, exactly. And ultimately, that's what leads to deeper connection and fulfillment in any relationship.
I love that. So for anyone listening out there who's grappling with these ideas about masculinity in their own relationships,
Yeah.
think about how societal expectations might be impacting both of you. And maybe the real key isn't about changing who your partner is, but about understanding and appreciating the unique ways they express themselves.
Yeah, and asking yourselves, how can we build a relationship that supports each other's growth?
Whatever form that growth takes.
Exactly.
That's a great point to end on. Communication, understanding, creating a space where you can both be your authentic selves.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Absolutely. It's been a good one.
Until next time.